Welcome back to East Coast DNA. We're here at the Cavendish Beach Music Festival. We're actually wrapping up interviews with this one, so hopefully after this we'll go out and enjoy some of the festival. And I know you yourself are also wrapping up shortly for the day because you performed already today. I was able to catch that.
Yeah,
So
it was pretty fun. I saw you right outside front row, so
yeah.
we're coming by.
Oh yeah, no, it was an amazing performance, and I love those secondary stages that are at the top of the hill. So, and they're in close proximity, so you can actually almost like double the amount of artists that you catch if you kind of float back and forth.
Absolutely. So much talent to see.
Yes. So now your name, Jade Hilton. So for people at home that didn't get to capture the performance, where do you come from originally?
I'm from Toronto.
Yes.
Yeah, I was born in Toronto. I grew up in Mississauga, which
Yeah.
is very close, and now I live in Toronto again.
Okay, amazing. We seem to be getting a lot of Ontario people floating around down here, but as I'd mentioned in the other interviews, this is one of the biggest festivals like in the country. Definitely in Atlantic Canada, but it is one of the biggest in the entire country. So
Absolutely.
definitely attracting people from all different regions. Now, for yourself, is this your first time on the East Coast?
So I actually came 2 years ago to
Yeah.
Stelmo Festival as a fan,
Okay, yeah.
but I fell in love with PEI. It's like one of my
Yeah.
favorite places I've ever visited. And I was like, I want to play one of these stages one day. And I wasn't really doing country music at the time. I was kind of just
Oh,
figuring out my sound. I was doing more of like indie pop,
yep.
which kept getting playlisted country.
Sure.
So the past 2 years has been a little bit of a genre shift. So it's such an honor to be here at Cavendish.
No, I'd mentioned to you, I normally through the year outside of the festivals focus primarily on East Coast artists. Now, the topic is something that I've actually brought up a few times with artists that would be more of pop rock or folk and then getting labeled as country when maybe they themselves didn't see it that way. Some have over time leaned into it more, and some have kind of taken a little veer off to the left to go more in the direction they want it. But now, for your own personal experience with it, obviously there's something in the music that you were producing that the people that were programming at radio heard that they wanted to slot you in there because there's a lot of people out there trying to get radio play. So if they're already slotting you in and they're putting you under that genre, is there something from having it identified that way? Is there something yourself that you've identified in your songwriting that would lean in towards country?
Absolutely. I've always been a songwriter and I've always wanted to tell stories through my music, and country is huge about that. So I feel like the songs were always country, but growing up in Toronto, a lot of my collaborators were hip hop and R&B. The
Sure.
first producer I worked with was Tone Mason. They
Yeah.
did like Jay-Z and Drake. And I would show them how my writing process. Like I wrote this song about, whatever it was. I was 14 at the time, about a guy,
Mhm.
and can you make like a beat to it? They say beat, they don't say produce. So
Yes.
I'm gonna make a beat. So, and they'd be like, we don't do that. We make the beat and you write the song to it.
Yeah.
So that's when I was first starting as an artist, a young artist. A lot of my writing was through that, and I think that's why I was a little confused. But as I've gotten older, I had my first writing trip to Nashville last year,
Cool.
and I think that's when I fell in love and I started meeting other artists and other songwriters that had a similar process to me. And I
Yes.
was like, I found my people. And now I've been also traveling out to smaller towns where country music is really big, and
Mhm.
the audience has been so receptive of me. And there's a bit of that Toronto twist to it too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just grateful that people want to listen to me.
Well, if any creative activity, like arts in general, not just specifically to music, it can be difficult when you kind of have in your head what it is that you're trying to get to. And if your exposure isn't that thing, it may exist out there in the larger world, but not necessarily right in front of your face. So it does lend us to kind of cobbling together a few different things to try to make a facsimile of what we're trying to create. So with yourself, where you mentioned that you were working with not the wrong people, but people that worked in a different genre, is like that's because of the area that you were living and the people that you were hanging out with at the time. It was just your personal network that you had to pull from. But I'm curious, before country and before you were writing your own songs, Was there any dabbling that would have been more in the R&B or hip hop type area, or did you just stick primarily to the singer songwriter and you just happen to know those people?
Yeah, well, as a kid, I grew up listening to Avril Lavigne,
Yeah.
and then it kind of became Taylor Swift, and that's kind of when I started writing songs. I was like, Taylor writes songs, she plays guitar, so I wanted to be like Taylor. But, where I was living, like you said, in Toronto, it's just, that's what was hot at the time, and anyone I would met, it was, with hip hop and R&B, and they wanted to help me because, like, you're really good, you're 14 and you sing, like, let's try something, and so that's where I was.
Well, it's amazing that you're able to take that and then kind of veer it back into what you had envisioned.
Hmm.
So now that you're firmly planted into the country genre, like I said, I saw your performance out there today, but what we had talked about when we were just coming in here for the interview too, you have a new single that's coming up. So do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Is that the Carolina Blue one?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I have a bunch of singles.
Yes.
Honestly, I'm still selecting. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure that's going to be the next one.
Yeah.
But it's actually about my time, in university. So I went to school at the University of Illinois and I played college tennis there. And country music's actually really big down there too. So it's kind of like my first big exposure to country music. It was like Midwestern Americans love country, but I didn't identify as a country artist at the time.
Sure.
So I was like, I don't know if I belong. But yeah, you get influenced because your dials start all the time. But yeah, so Carolina Blue is, about University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill.
Cool.
One of the team trips we had, we were driving in and I just see like the rolling hills and all the trees of Carolina. I just thought it was so beautiful. I don't really see that at home in Toronto. Or I thought it could be a love song. And I sometimes reminisce about those days. So Carolina Blue is that reminiscing song. It's like whenever I put on that jersey, I'll think about that time and
Cool.
guy in the song.
I love it. I love to hear the stories that are in behind the songs. And that's definitely the one that I heard today that we're talking about. But you mentioned that you have a lot. So is there an album upcoming? Like, is there something that you can announce and talk about?
It is an unannounced album.
Yeah.
It probably won't come out till early 2026. We're going to be dropping a couple singles and, Dive Bar, which came out a month ago, I want to say, or a month and a half ago. That was my first official song in country music, and I wasn't sure how it would be received. And, it's just blown away all my expectations, getting to play Boots and Hearts now and getting on top of the country and Cavendish. So I'm going to keep going in country, I guess.
That is one that, like, as I prepare for things like this festival, I'll dive into all the artists that are there, whether they're people that I'm listening to or not. I'll definitely make sure that I put a few listening hours in before I get to the festival. And Dive Bar is one that my algorithm has figured out that I like that song because it keeps coming back on its own now.
Oh,
So thank you for that. It's in my playlist now. So I have you and Taylor Jensen she had performed there yesterday. So you guys both have songs that are in my playlist now that are both new to me. So I think I've gone a little country, which is very appropriate being of where I am today. But if people want to follow you and what you're going to do next, where should they follow you online?
So Jade Hilton Music is my handle on everything. And then I'm on all streaming platforms as Jade Hilton.
Yep.
Jade like the stone, Hilton like the hotel. That's what I say.
I love that it's easy to remember anyway, yeah. So definitely in the future, I want you to keep in touch with East Coast DNA. Let me know when the album's coming out. Maybe we'll have you back on for a feature to talk about the whole creative process and the launch of that. For tour dates, we had mentioned that you had a lot of opportunity this year. There's some stuff coming up in the near future. I think that you have to actually leave and head back very soon. So what's next live wise?
So tomorrow I'm catching a 5 a.m. flight. So I guess I have to be there at like 3:30.
Wow.
Woof. Shouldn't even sleep tonight.
Yeah.
And then I'm going back to Ontario and then driving up to the Blue Mountains and I'm playing Country Fest where I'm opening for Elise Saunders, who's also a Mississauga girl.
Yes.
But she's doing amazing and I really look up to her and I'm so excited to play Country Fest.
Amazing. It sounds like you have a lot of opportunities that were lined up for you this year. So with all the new singles and a new album coming up, I'm sure that you're going to be down on the East Coast again. So
Yes.
reach out and let us know before you come. We'll do a little promo.
And also, if there's anyone out there going to Boots and Hearts, make sure you
Yes.
come see me on the emerging stage and sing Dive Bar with me.
Amazing. Go out there and listen to Dive Bar. I think today we'll end with a live clip of Carolina Blue from the performance earlier today. But definitely recommend that people go out and listen to Dive Bar when they're done listening to Carolina Blue.
Love it.
And follow both you online and subscribe to East Coast DNA so that you can keep up with all of the artists that we interviewed this weekend. And we have a lot more festivals coming up this summer. We'll be bringing coverage from those as well. So definitely hope to run into you again. And hopefully when you're back, it'll be a main stage performance.
Amazing.
Okay. Thanks again for your time. And thanks to everyone at home.
Tell me something I don't already know. Another night all alone, but I can't let it go. 2019, the last good year before we played. If I could go back before your heart went cold, I thought I'd be moving on, but Chapel Hill's where we belong. 1,000 miles like college town, the memories fly back now. 'Cause sometimes I still put a song on, and when you're Carolina Blue, I think about us, think about you, think about everything we've been through. That's what I do when I wear your Carolina Blue. Like the blue sky that was overhead, through the sunroof, how could I forget? You picked me up to watch the game, making love back at your place. I'm in a blue shirt, went away. Yeah, I thought I'd be moving on, but Chapel Hill's where we belong. 1,000 miles like college town, the memories fly back now. 'Cause sometimes I still put a song on, and when you're Carolina Blue, I think about us, think about you, think about everything we've been through. That's what I do when I wear your Carolina Blue. Carolina, baby. Ooh, I've been thinking lately. Ooh, we can have it, baby. Ooh, Carolina, baby. Sometimes I still put a song on, we were Carolina Blue. I think about us, think about